episode 3, Time to Fly. All right, so non-spoilers. We're not going to be spoiling anything yet, but we will soon. Don't you worry. All right, pros and cons, people. Pros and cons. Let's start off with some cons. You guys have many cons for this episode?
James Caan.
James Caan is not in this episode.
That's a con.
But it's a con.
He is a con, technically.
I didn't have very many
From
cons.
Star Trek. He's a con.
Oh my gosh. What were you going to say, Dan?
I just said I did not have very many cons. Maybe I don't have very many cons, so why am I talking?
So why am I talking?
Okay, I'll give you one con.
Okay.
And it's a small
know.
con.
All
There was
right.
a part in this episode that was very
Cheesy.
it was very cheesy
I
and
think I
like
know what you're
the
talking
animated show. And it was kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I really liked that scene. You know,
Ooh.
it's a spoiler-free section, so I can only say so many words.
It did remind you / me of Rebels
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Clone Wars. It was. It was like
yeah.
a call out back
It
right
was like
to
an
that.
animated show
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that moment.
No spoilers, but yeah. Somebody said I like that. Nudles. Oh, it's too short. That's a good con.
That is a good
Yeah.
con. I do
I like
agree.
that.
Yeah.
that is a con.
That being said, it is a con, but it's also a pro because it felt a lot longer than it actually
That's
was.
true. It was packed.
It
Yeah.
was.
It's packed full.
I think it was more the fact that I didn't want it to end.
Yes.
This episode. I really did not want it to end. I wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Yes.
But other cons for me, I feel like there was a few lines that didn't quite deliver well. They were a little
Yeah.
cringy for me, like one or two,
Yeah.
not a ton, but there was definitely a few where I was like, okay, I guess. What else? Con wise, I see what you're talking about. That scene you're talking about is kind of
Yeah.
like it's a pro and a con for me because it both
it's
is
just goofy for
kind
me.
of goofy, but also it reminds me so much of Rebels and Clone Wars that I
Yeah.
kind of still liked it. So it was like I was in between on it. Especially I thought they pulled it off decent, not super well, but not bad. So, what else? Oh, cons for me too. There's a specific part where there's a ship battle going on, and I feel like one side is not effective at all. Like,
No. Yeah.
it is-
I know what you're talking about.
for me, it's almost
Yeah.
comical. In the beginning, I could understand it for reasons that they actually have, but then towards the end, I'm kind of like, okay,
Nothing's really happening.
Yeah, like this one group is trying to hurt the other, and
Rawr.
nothing is happening. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, that was a small con.
Well, those are small cons. Do we have any pros, or are we done with cons?
No.
I think there's a lot of pros.
There's a ton of
You
pros in
said
this.
my cons, so
My
What was
cons.
your
My
con?
cons?
We already said them. He said, which ones were yours? We covered them
you
all.
know.
Too short.
Yes,
It was too short. Yes.
Nick's whole thing,
My spiel.
a little bit there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. I'll
And yeah, I
also
think that was
say
it.
That was it. All right.
Some of the
hot
acting,
takes.
Some of the acting was still.
There's a few moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few moments.
It doesn't live up to what the character should be.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's especially one scene, non-spoilers, but especially one character felt more out of place than normal to me. It felt like their character regressed more than it was.
Progress.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just didn't feel like it
It was
was on the same trajectory.
Congress.
You know, you could make an argument for it, and we'll get into it in spoilers, but it felt a little off to me.
Yeah.
Not bad. Still, nothing was that bad that it threw it off. So let's jump into the pros, though. What do you guys think was
So many pros.
so many pros? Let's jump into the pros, you guys. What's
The music.
boom
the-
right off the bat?
The
Music,
story.
action,
That's always his answer.
Yeah.
cinematography.
The music throughout. There were so many moments for musical cues that were just epic.
Yes,
And beyond that, everything else was awesome.
the music is almost the best character in this show so far.
Maybe
What
it
do you
is.
say, Dan?
Yeah, I'd say consistently so. It doesn't let you down. When the music's there in front, like when the sound just kind of disappears, there's not a lot of dialogue, and the music soars.
Yeah,
It's Ahsoka is soaring at its finest because that music can carry the show without trying.
Yeah,
It's so
the show.
good.
and he keeps bringing in. It's so funny to me in some ways because he's bringing in the classic Star Wars music that we've heard, but he just
Yep.
puts a slight different to it. Like you're waiting, like he hits like 3 of the notes, and then you're waiting for it to finish, but then he
But then it goes
changes that
somewhere
last
else.
one. He goes to
Yeah.
a different place. So you're like, that sounds so familiar to me, but you change it there right at the end, and it's just different enough. But it
Yeah.
still works, especially the way he does it, the tempo and everything. It worked for the scenes. I agree completely. That's a huge pro. What else for pros with you guys? What do you think, Nick?
I think the pacing was done very well.
Yeah.
It wasn't like chop fest.
Yeah, and way less like just like taking forever to get to one scene to another.
Yeah.
You know,
It was like, oh, this is now we're going here. Now we're going there. It wasn't like, oh, this is where now we're abruptly turning, going somewhere else.
Yes.
Heading into oncoming traffic. Oh no.
oh no, significantly.
Well, you said in the
Significantly better.
or somebody posted in our community before, tighten up Snips, with the timing of it all.
Yeah.
And this episode was so tight. It was airtight. There wasn't any waste.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there
know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
much. I feel like there was still like if I had to be nitpicky, I'd say maybe like a moment or two that could have been tightened up, but it was not nearly as bad as episode 1, 2.
Even the props were good.
Oh yeah,
The
Sip,
props.
you would notice that.
Snip, snip.
snip, snip.
No, I
Oh,
said sip,
but
Oh,
it's,
sip, sip.
Snips.
but
Is,
that
Sip?
works too.
that work. Oh, okay.
Wait, what was she
What props
referring
are we
to?
talking
She's
about?
talking. You're
What are
talking
you
about the
talking
cups,
about?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the cups
Yeah.
on the
That's a
table. She likes-
spoiler.
Yeah. I didn't say it.
I thought you were talking about her.
Just
Lexus.
cups, for goodness
Yeah.
sake.
I didn't know there were cups
In Star Wars.
in Star Wars.
What?
Spoiler warning, everybody.
Blew
thought
my
they just-
Cups
mind.
in Star
There were
Wars.
cups in a galaxy far, far away.
I thought everything was just pouches and
Everything
straws.
Just use their hands.
Yeah.
Everything
that's
is
good.
Everything is Sunny D.
Oh god,
That's what the astronauts use.
I don't want to
true.
live in this universe.
Right?
Right.
Like
I want
what
like the
Bremen
gravity, like molecules of water, like the space astronauts do, and they just go and they just suck it up.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
Dude,
what I
it's
want.
so weird.
So
to-
weird.
it's
Please
so
make
weird
that
to
sound
watch.
again.
It goes.
No,
It's like sucking gel through a
Yep.
straw.
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man.
Oh man.
All right,
All
what's-
right.
what's
well,
the- fact checker?
You said it well. All killer, no filler.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I really, I really like the fact that we are getting into the meat of things and that they're moving us right along. For me,
Same with me.
I almost wish they would have just started at this point and
Yep.
not done.
Had a recap of the end of.
That's
Rebels
kind of how I
season
felt.
4.
Yeah. I was like,
I really think that they did not need that setup for 1 and 2.
No.
This
Except for the villains. You
the
said.
villains, yeah, the
Yeah.
villains I did like and stuff like that.
See,
but-
they could have just done that in the first
yeah.
half of the episode.
yeah.
Set them up. Like set up them with
Set up the
Morgan
villain
Elsbeth.
side.
What if they
Yeah.
leading into
combined?
it, yeah.
I don't think it could have worked. What if they like tagged this on to the end of episode 2? Like it just continued. So like 1 was an hour, and then 2 and 3 were back to back, like another hour.
Right. I
They
could.
could have done that,
They
you
could've.
know, and then left on the cliffhanger at 3. But
Right.
I don't know. But for a solid standalone 30 minutes, it was. I know
Pretty good.
John Pope's not happy about the 30-minute. You know, it's like you got your own streaming service. Why are you doing 30-minute episodes? You know, short episodes.
But
But at the
Yeah.
same time, you know, it's it was
a
so
lot in here.
action packed and stuff. It was
Right.
amazing. Like the best episode. Like almost returning Star Wars back to its former glory. Good.
right. Yeah, definitely.
It's
I
on
mean-
a good track.
Well,
Yeah.
and like we've been saying, quality over quantity. I say. I think the first 2 episodes and this episode are a perfect example of quality over quantity. We had less in this episode, but I feel like it was way better than episode 1 and 2 that seemed to just drag on. We had long padded run times. It felt like to me.
Yeah.
They were just adding in things that didn't need to be there. So,
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
That was, yes, I'd say the ship battles were great in this one. I thought they did a great job,
Yeah.
minus the minor gripe I have with it. And a
Minus.
huge pro for me on this one is Hu Yang. Okay,
Hu
Man,
he is
yeah.
a standout. This
He
whole
is.
show, he's been a standout for me. I love David
Right.
Tennant for
He's solid.
for one. He just elevates anything he's in. Like Doctor Who, he's one of the best doctors in Doctor Who, and he really got that show back on track. But he's also
Back on target.
Back on target. Thank you. He got it back on target. But pretty much anything he's in, he elevates it, and he brings the comedy in this one. The way he delivers the lines is just perfect timing. Everything about it. He's a huge standout to me in this. What do you guys think about that? Even the beginning of it too. I
Yeah.
was like, heck yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like, I want to see more of this.
yes.
Way more of this.
What do you think, Action Matt, about
Action
Hu
Matt.
Yang and even the beginning without spoiling anything?
Yeah, don't spoil it, man.
I like him. I like his his shots at people, I guess. His,
Oh yeah, his
His bluntness.
yeah.
I think his bluntness.
I
and
mean,
he's
like
got a
he's
little
got
bit of
no
sarcasm there, though.
he's got
Right.
no filter at
right.
all.
Yeah.
He does. He just says what's. I mean, it's how he's programmed, but
What's on his mind?
yeah, it's funny and how he makes fun of people. So
Yep.
No,
not trying to make fun of people necessarily, but just
Oh, he's trying.
what. Yeah, he probably.
that's
is.
what's. It's almost like a line. Like, is he going over that line, or is he just like? Is he
He's
trying?
speaking his mind,
Yeah.
and his mind is fried.
Was he programmed by a Sith?
Yes,
Nick.
yes.
You
I
programmed
get
him.
that. I crossed those wires.
Yeah. I think he's a great standout. What do you think of him, Dan?
Oh, he was hilarious. He anchors the show when you got the
He does.
You know,
Yeah.
the ladies were, they were settling in. Again, not spoiling
The
anything, but
ladies.
Sabine and Ahsoka, and
Spoiled.
I didn't know they were in the show.
but when Hu Yang's in the scene with either of them bouncing dialogue back and forth, it gives the show more weight and like depth, because he brings like humor, and he brings like facts and history.
Yes.
And all of the things that add to dialogue that you're not going to get from anybody else. That's where you bring in lore, you bring in George Lucas
Yeah.
facts, you
Mhm.
bring in
Yeah.
Star Wars history. You're like, oh man, everything he's saying is awesome because it's funny. I'm learning something, and he's like telling the truth, hardcore, like Matt said. He's just saying it like it is, and you're
Yeah.
like, I love Hu Yang. Like I wouldn't want him to like pick me apart because he'd tell me the truth and everything's wrong with me.
And you
But-
just like,
Yeah,
it's
but
too real.
the truth
guys.
hurts Hu Yang,
too
but
real.
Hu Yang knows how to do it.
Yeah.
He
Yang.
did push things a little to the edge, though. No spoilers, but
Yeah.
He knows how to stay on target, though.
Ha.
I guess.
Roll
Yeah,
credits.
he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, no, Hu Yang
So
was
you
awesome.
don't like him?
No, I do. I do.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah. That's not what you
Fact
said.
checker.
No,
You think he goes too far?
No, I said he pushed it to the edge. I didn't say he pushed him over the edge.
You didn't
You
kick him
wish
off
he
the
pushed
kick.
him over
He didn't kick him off the.
off the river. Is that what you said?
I don't know.
I'll go back to the chat.
Yeah, you're great. No,
Go
it's
back
good.
to
It's
your
good take.
home.
You got to be honest too, just like Hu Yang. Everybody's got to be as honest
Exactly.
as possible.
Okay.
As honest as
Dustin.
Hu Yang.
You need to stop talking.
Just tell us you hate him, don't you?
Hu Yang. All right, yeah. I did have one other negative that I really want to get into.
Well, we are on
And
positive.
I know we
now.
are, but I just remember
Yeah.
this. And there's one other negative that we're going to go into in spoilers, and it's with the main character Ahsoka, that I think I figured out something about her that that's not sitting right with me. But there are still moments in this that are great. We also, what about, there was a character that said something. I'm not going to spoil who it was. That was exciting for me.
Said something.
I don't know.
Just
Oh, I know
Lot
what you're
of
talking
things.
about. I know you
And that was exciting. I'm not going to go into it too much here in non-spoilers.
fetch me that picture, Dustin. Fetch me that picture.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. As you wish.
Yeah. Okay.
Name that reference, which was also
Was that this
hilarious.
point?
Not a clue what you're talking
I
about.
said, "As you wish." It really meant, "I love you."
Yes.
Marriage.
I thought about that,
Marriage.
like immediately when he said it, I was like, "Guys, we can make a meme.
Mhm.
It's happening.
Totally make a meme.
It's
It-
definitely
it's
happening.
happening.
We're in it right
Yeah.
now. We're in the meme.
We are the meme.
We are the
You
meme.
are the meme.
It's like a meme soup.
memes. That's one meme soup. Am I right?
Got him. Roll credits.
Yeah. No,
Put
that
a
was.
bag over your head. Because I'm ashamed.
No, I like that. And then they had another big reveal in this. They had two big reveals, actually. Yeah, two big reveals in this, with one other character earlier on in the episode, and then also some big, humongous characters
Humongous.
towards the end. That was exciting to
Humongous.
see in live action, and I really liked how
Oh,
they
yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That felt very Star
That's pretty
Wars.
cool.
The whole episode felt very like an adventure Star Wars movie, and I really, really enjoyed this episode. You guys got any more pros before we move on to the spoiler section?
No.
Let's
Please move on.
jump into it.
There's
I
a
think
lot of
that's it.
pros. I
yeah,
mean,
there's so many pros. The people in the chat are freaking out.
yes,
But
yes.
Yes,
there
I
was
did,
just
I did.
quite a thing. We got to dump into these spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Dump
do.
into 'em.
Dump, boy. Yeah.
But no,
Before
I
we
mean,
do though, we're gonna
rate it?
rate it,
yeah, rate it.
and we do it out of 5 rebels.
5 rebels.
Yeah, that's how we
Rebels
rate this
season
one.
5.
We rate this out of 5 rebels.
5 non-spoiler rebels.
non-spoil or Wookiee cookies,
Or
whichever
Wookiee
you
rebels.
prefer. We're kind of in a dessert mood here tonight.
All right.
We are.
Rate it.
All right, for me,
Ooh.
I'd say this is a solid like 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 for me.
Really?
Maybe slight. What's 8 out of 10 and 4 out of 5, Matt?
12
Same
out of
thing.
4 out of 5.
Okay,
the
that's
same
what I
thing.
thought. I was just making sure. You guys are the math people.
12 out of 15?
Yeah, I'd say 4 out of 5. It was solid, man. It was super good. I really enjoyed it. So that's my take. So one of those was an Imperial, but the 4 were Rebels, and
Good.
they win. All right. Nick.
Yeah, I'd say the same. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's good. It could do better. Not saying that it was bad, but
Right.
there's always room to grow.
There's room to grow, but it was
Yes.
still really good. Leaps and bounds ahead of the first two. What about you, Matt?
I will go 3.99.
3.99. Not quite
Just
4.
to be
Wow.
different.
Oh my goodness. What about you, Dan?
Oh, boy. You don't want to hear it. No, I'm kidding.
It's like 1 out of 5.
I want to say 5 out of 5. I really want to say 5 out of 5.
But you can't.
But you won't.
But I can't because we are going to get a 5 out of 5 later. And I'm going to freak
I'm
out.
glad you
know.
have faith.
Dan
Because
he's
this has set me up. It's retuned my scale, right? Because I gave it 4 out of 5 last time, which is 8 out of 10. So this one would definitely be a 9.5 out of 10. So that makes it a 4.75 ish.
4.75 for you. Wow.
Yeah, out of 5. So I'm up there. This was like the tops because it did remind me of Rebels. It did remind me of Clone Wars. I dug the stuff that we got. But I mean, we haven't even got, I can't spoil anything, but that's why I can't give it a 5. Because once we see all these characters and all the rest of the stuff he's pulling together, we're going to freak out. We're going to lose our stuff. But because of what it set up and the epicness that this was, it just gives me that much more hope for the 5 or 6 out of 5 or whatever that we're going to get.
Right.
Because he's cooking up something seriously good now. If they can deliver, like we know they could deliver the pacing that we want,
Right.
the action that we want, and the montages that we want, and dialogue.
Yes.
So let's do it.
And the story that we want.
And the story. Fact checker, did you have it? Did you already
Yeah,
say yours?
fact checker.
No, but I'm not afraid to flash the 5s early.
Oh, flashing the
I-
fives.
Whoa!
You
Get
should
out.
be afraid.
Yeah, you should be very afraid.
Well, I'm always
5
a little
out of
afraid
5
here.
for the fact checker?
Whoa.
Get out of
She's
here.
flashing the
Yep.
fives.
Flashing the 5. Fact checker's flashing the 5 out of 5. 5
Oh.
Wrebels.
Woo.
That's
No
crazy.
Imperials.
Oh
Yeah.
my
No
goodness.
Imperials.
It was good.
I don't
enjoyed
agree.
it.
You enjoyed it.
Was it?
Wow. Wow. Hey, you know what?
Nobody's
Tied
gonna
up to her opinion.
That is a
nobody's
perfect
gonna fault
issue.
you.
You're saying this is the perfect episode of Rebels season 5.
That was my
So
point
far-
last week.
So
Yeah.
far.
He's
Yes.
following up on your point.
So far,
But he wasn't
can't
here,
go any
so
higher
like
than
he.
that.
Well, that's fine. There can
We're
be
in the
multiple
same
5s, and
mindset.
then the overall rating for the
Counts.
season is very high.
wrong.
If it continues.
We have different
So,
ideas of rating.
Do not come against a fact checker. They will come after you in the chat.
Oh,
Hashtag protect
I'll
the
go
fact
after
checker.
them.
We're all
Yeah.
just going after each
Square
other.
up.
He's got his
son.
guns out.
Wait.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
All right, well, that's some hot takes. People are really liking this episode. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people love it, love what they're seeing, and then also a lot of people are liking it. They still see room for improvement, so I think it's pretty balanced. I like where we're mostly at here.